Look, I think the only benefit about Cape Town's situation is that the whole country is now aware of what the future of day zero looks like. I believe that in Nelson Mandela Bay, we've been hot on the heels of the restrictions that Cape Town has been imposing. We have seen a dramatic reduction in consumption of water in the city, and I want to thank everybody who's been part of that reduction and changing of the habits and using water more sparingly. Even in December, we saw only a small increase in December from what we used in November, and November was less than we used in October. And December is a big month in our city when visitors come to our city, so I believe that we are doing enough. However, if it doesn't rain, and we've prayed for rain today, and I believe it will rain, if it doesn't rain, whatever our endeavors have been today, they won't be good enough. So what we're doing is we're saying we want to reduce the water to 250 megalitres a day, and we want every citizen in Nelson Mandela Bay not to use more than 50 litres of water a day. 50 litres of water is more than enough for one person, and we want you to change your habits and adjust all your habits to making sure you use no more than 50 litres a day. There's always a day zero, because if people in this country don't use water properly, we will run out of water. But we have been able to mitigate day zero in the city by augmenting water through planning that started many years ago. The Nooit Gedacht low pressure water scheme augments water that we get from the Trollip dam, which comes out of the Lesotho highlands. That water can stabilize the water use in the city. The only problem that we will experience if it doesn't rain in the next few weeks and months is that the dams in this part of the world, in the catchment area that supply the southern and western part of our city, will dry up and we won't be able to get water there. But we're already making plans that we can take the water that comes from the east and pump it across the city into reservoirs, and we're also drawing more water out of subterranean aquifers near reservoirs so we can augment that water. So we believe that day zero is not on the immediate horizon in Nelson Mandela Bay, and that we have got a strong augmentation process from the Nooit Gedacht water scheme, but also we've got incredibly strong aquifers and subterranean water in the Kucha area, and we've got boreholes there that have been drilled that are producing more water than anywhere else in the country. So we've got strong underground water. The only thing we have to do there is to build a biological treatment plant, because the water is sweet and clean and fresh, but it is high in iron content, and that can often have discoloration. So we've got to take that out through a biological treatment process, and we believe that the plans that we have with subterranean water, augmentation from the Trollip dam, and also managing these reserves in the dam behind us. This dam, for example, we've stopped using 6 months ago, and the dam level has risen since then, so we have this in emergency supply. And when it comes to saving water, we are doing everything in our power with Councillor Zinto and all of his officials to make sure that we reduce non-revenue losses through wastage, and also there are 28,000 homesteads in the city that are given water that are not metered. And if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So we've got a budget now through the adjustments budget, and we're also taking out a loan to deal with mitigating interventions, like buying more meters and installing them, drilling more holes, purifying water out of the aquifer, and all those things. We're going to borrow the money in order to address that over and above, our normal budgetary provisions. So we've already taken a decision in council. We're going to borrow up to 450 million just to address our water needs in the